Environmental factors, our quiz. We have 8 questions. What are some of the pollutants from construction site runoff that impact our watersheds? A, concrete particles, flakes of wood. B, mud and fine gravel. C, nitrogen, phosphorus, and solid waste. D, decayed leaves and plant fungus. Choose one. What are some of the pollutants from construction site runoff that impact watersheds? And here's what it is. C, nitrogen and phosphorus. Nitrogen and phosphorus appear in old-time fertilizers and are often found in your topsoil. Also solid waste. So nitrogen, phosphorus, and solid waste. Number 2, of the 4 groups listed below, pick the non-hazardous group. Choose one. A, used oil, paint thinner, caustic solvents, pesticides, and oil-based paint. B, plumbing fixtures, concrete, bricks, wiring, metal scraps, and electrical wiring. C, stains and finishes, pesticides, used oil, and caustic cleaners. D, plumbing fixtures, concrete, bricks, wiring, and mercury-containing thermostats. Number 2, of the 4 groups listed below, pick the non-hazardous group. The one we want is B, plumbing fixtures, concrete, bricks, wiring, metal scraps, and electrical wiring. Nothing hazardous in that group, totally non-hazardous. 3, how can you minimize erosion and sedimentation on your construction sites? Erosion. Rain comes down, dirt falls off of the lot. My lot's on a hill, and every time it rains, the soil washes off the lot. Sedimentation, that's a little tiny fine silt. It's just a little thin mud that sometimes runs off your lot. How can you minimize both erosion and sedimentation on construction sites? A, washing construction equipment at the highest point of the site. B, hay bales placed at the down gradient side of a construction site. Hay bales. C, washing the paved areas. D, waiting to plant vegetation to stabilize the soil until the construction is complete. 3, how can you minimize erosion and sedimentation on construction sites? Answer we're looking for here is B, hay bales placed at the down gradient side of a construction site will stop the dirt flowing off the lot into the watershed. Number 4, where can you dispose of white goods, meaning water heaters and refrigerators? Choose one answer. A, at a solid waste landfill. B, with a scrap metal dealer or at a transfer station. C, far out on a country road. D, at the neighborhood used clothing drop site. Where can you dispose of white goods like water heaters and refrigerators? Answer, with a scrap metal dealer or at a transfer station. A regular solid waste landfill will not take your appliances. Number 5. What are the responsibilities of the EPA? The Environmental Protection Agency, your federal agency. Choose one. A. Issuing asbestos removal permits. B. Issuing lead-based paint licenses. C. Issuing open burning permits. D. Leading U.S. environmental science research and education efforts. Okay, what are the responsibilities of that EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency? D. Leading U.S. environmental science research and education efforts. What type of underground storage tanks, that's UST systems, are regulated by federal and state laws? What type? Choose one. A. UST systems that are on or above the floor of underground areas. B. UST systems that store petroleum or certain other hazardous substances. C. UST systems that store heating oil used on the premises where they are stored. D. UST systems that collect stormwater. Do you have your answer? Number 6. What type of underground storage tanks, UST systems, are regulated by federal and state laws? Answer B. UST systems that store petroleum or certain other hazardous substances. Whenever you are in hazardous substances, you can expect some regulation. Number 7. How much hazardous waste do conditionally exempt generators generate in a month? Now, these conditionally exempt generators they're referring to not a generator, not a machine, but the generator, the construction company that is generating hazardous waste on their job site. So if we have a conditionally exempt generator of hazardous waste, a construction company that is conditionally exempt, we're going to expect that they would produce less hazardous waste. Here's our selections. A. Large, small, or conditionally exempt generators all generate the same amount of hazardous waste within a month. B. They generate 2,200 pounds or more of hazardous waste a month. C. They generate 220 pounds or less of hazardous waste a month. D. They generate between 221 and 2,199 pounds of hazardous waste a month. So which is the answer? Okay, number 7. How much hazardous waste do conditionally exempt generators generate in a month? We want C. They generate 220 pounds or less of hazardous waste a month. They generate such a small amount on their construction sites that they are conditionally exempt from reporting and all of the regulations. Number 8. What agency governs the proper disposal of hazardous and non-hazardous waste in Oregon? A. The DEQ. B. The EPA. C. The Oregon OSHA, that's the safety people. D. The Oregon Health Department. Okay, number 8. What agency governs the proper disposal of hazardous and non-hazardous waste in Oregon? Answer A. The DEQ.